This is Niger Delta Television News. I am Joyce Batowe. We're glad to have you. First, the highlight. President Tinubu congratulates NNPCL for revitalizing Port Harcourt refinery. Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics set to shut down polytechnics. Plus, world record holder Toby Amusan inducted into University of Texas Hall of Fame 7 years after graduation. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday night congratulated the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on the successful revitalization of the Port Harcourt refinery. The refinery commenced petroleum product loading on Tuesday after several missed deadlines. In a statement issued by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the president acknowledged the pivotal role of his predecessor, Muhammadu Buhari, in initiating the comprehensive rehabilitation of all the nation's refineries. Tinubu thanked African Export-Import Bank for financing the project, while also commending NNPCL's Group Chief Executive Officer, Mele Kyari. He urged NNPCL to expedite the reactivation of the second Port Harcourt refinery and the Warri and Kaduna refineries. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment to repairing the perception that Nigeria, a major crude oil producer, lacks refining capabilities for domestic consumption. The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria has commended the federal government for the smooth takeoff of the Port Harcourt refinery after work was completed. The union gave the commendation at the end of its National Executive Council meeting in Abuja. President of Union Festus Osifo urged the government to revisit and expedite work on other refineries as it would eliminate monopoly and will bring a system of completion into the downstream sector of the oil and gas industry. The Labour leader also urged states yet to announce figures for the new minimum wage to do so. He charged states that have made pronouncements on the new wage to complete work on the consequential adjustments so that the workers can begin to enjoy the new wage. The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnic, ASUP, has vowed to shut down all public polytechnics nationwide following the inability of the federal government to meet its demand. Chairman of ASUP Kaduna Polytechnics Chapter, Comrade Abubakar Abdullahi, stated that the union will commence an indefinite strike on December 2nd. The union had on October 6th issued a 15-day ultimatum to the federal government outlining pressing demands that would resolve the systemic challenges bedeviling polytechnics across the nation, noting that the federal government was yet to address the issues raised. Abubakar listed some of the demands to include the release of the second tranche of the Needs Assessment Intervention Fund, immediate implementation of the approved 25/35% salary review across all public polytechnics, and the payment of accrued arrears, among others. He, however, stated that it's regrettable they have passed the deadline of the ultimatum, adding that they are waiting to see the necessary actions from the federal government to address these pressing demands. Abubakar said the silence and inaction has left them with no option but to consider the possibility of a total shutdown of institutions on December 2nd, 2024, if the concerns remain unaddressed. Barely 3 weeks after receiving the committee reports for the review of the new minimum wage and subsequent approval of 71,000 naira, the Kano state government has commenced the implementation of the newly approved pay. This was disclosed on Tuesday, the 26th of November, by Aliyu Yusuf, Director of Public Enlightenment, Office of the Head of Service, Kano State. Speaking on the development, the Head of Civil Service of the state, Abdullahi Musa, expressed gratitude to God for enabling the government to fulfill its promise. He said that since the very day the government made the pronouncement on the salary increase, he was optimistic that the governor's words will be matched with action. The Head of Service solicited the cooperation of the teeming civil servants in the state to rededicate themselves to effective and efficient service delivery, as well as reciprocate the good gesture of the state government by exhibiting hard work and fear of God in the discharge of their assignments. While reiterating the government's commitment towards continuous improvement of the welfare of the workers, he admonished them to judiciously utilize the increment to better their living conditions by avoiding extravagant spending. Niger Delta Television News is reaching you live from our studios here in Ekeki. On the headlines, President Tinubu congratulates NNPCL for revitalizing Port Harcourt Refinery. Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics set to shut down polytechnics. Still to come in the news, world record holder Toby Amusan inducted into University of Texas Hall of Fame 7 years after graduation. Details of these and more stories coming after the break. Please stay with us.
Welcome to Niger Delta Television News and Current Affairs Department at the Ernest E. Coley Media Complex here in Yanagua, Bayelsa State.
One of NDTV's traditional objectives is to disseminate information with renewed vigor. We build teamwork for accountability, efficiency, and accuracy.
Our community reports, eyewitness accounts, current affairs discussions are detailed and competitive.
As NDTV reporters, undiluted report is our goal. We gather the news and bring it to you just as it is.
Our cameras are poised to get in the story behind the story in an in-depth news report.
Our new digital equipment are top-notch with clearer visuals and audio. NDTV is repositioned to serve you better.
Join us on the news every day at 7 a.m., 12 p.m., and our major bulletin at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 25 UHF. NDTV, crystallizing the vision.
We're glad to have you back. Niger Delta Television News continues. A war of words has erupted between the immediate past governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, and his successor, Monday Okpebolo, over the shutdown of the state e-governance platform. Okpebolo had ordered an immediate review of the platform, citing concerns that it was being operated by non-state actors. However, Obaseki berated the governor for shutting down the platform, describing his excuses as shameful and regressive. In a statement released on Tuesday by his spokesman, Crusoe Osage, Obaseki argued that the platform is operated by the Edo ICT Agency, a parastatal under the Edo State Ministry of Digital Economy, with the support of expert consultants. Operatives of the Nigerian Police Force have yet again arrested Nigerian musician Darlington Okoye, popularly known as Speed Darlington, in Owerri, Imo State. For details of this and other entertainment news, let's join Mayowa Akade.
Nigerian musician Darlington Okoye, popularly known as Speed Darlington, has been arrested again by the Nigerian police in Owerri, Imo State. According to a post on X, his lawyer, Deji Adeyanju, confirmed it in the early morning of Wednesday, 27th November 2024. He added that his arrest occurred during his return to Nigeria for a show. He also emphasized that the reason for Darlington's arrest remained unclear at the time of filing the report. The singer, also known as Akpi, was previously arrested on 4th October following the release of a contentious video in which he allegedly mocked his colleague, Burna Boy's association with American rapper Diddy, who has faced legal issues with the FBI over charges of sexual exploitation. The outspoken Nigerian singer was, however, released on bail on October 9th after spending 5 days in detention. Afrobeat star David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has claimed that the best doctors in the United States are of Nigerian descent. Davido made this statement during an appearance on the Africa TV program, where he highlighted the intellectual and creative excellence of Africans. He emphasized that Africans are among the brightest minds in the global music industry. noting that even Western filmmakers are increasingly looking to the continent for inspiration and movie ideas. He also said, the best actors in America are Nigerians. You can search it. Even in my record label, Africans bring the best ideas. That shows that our imagination is off the grid. Following this fact, Netflix and Amazon Prime come to Africa to get movies ideas. Now on Netflix, Nigerians' movies are in the top 10. He further mentioned that Africa is next. We have everything, but just missing a couple of things. American singer Beyonce has been named the greatest pop star of the 21st century by Billboard. Taylor Swift secured the second position, while billionaire Barbadian singer Rihanna, Canadian rapper Drake, and Lady Gaga occupied the third, fourth, and fifth spot, respectively. Taylor Swift secured the second position, while billionaire Barbadian singer Rihanna, Canadian rapper Drake, and Lady Gaga occupied the third, fourth, and fifth spot, respectively. Beyonce is the most nominated artist in the history of the Grammys, with 99 nominations. She is also the most awarded artist in the history of the Grammys, a recognition of her extraordinary contributions to the music industry and beyond. Beyonce's influence on music and pop culture remains unmatched. Her groundbreaking albums include Dangerously in Love, Birthday, Lemonade, Renaissance, and many others. Beyond music, Beyonce has left an indelible mark on business and entertainment, cementing her status as a global powerhouse. Likewise, her dominance underscores her dedication, creativity. Likewise, her dominance underscores her dedication, creativity, and enduring legacy in the entertainment world. I am Mayowa Akadi for NDTV Entertainment News.
And in sports, world record holder in the women's 100 meters hurdles, Toby Amusan, has been inducted into the University of Texas Hall of Fame 7 years after graduation from the institution. For details of this report and other sports stories, let's join Ayemi Miene.
Toby Amusan, the world record holder in the women's 100-meter hurdles, was inducted into the University of Texas El Paso's Hall of Fame 7 years after graduating. The school's 21st initiation took place on Tuesday, October 15, when Amusan athletics, Beto Batista men's basketball, Isabella Piescaska women's basketball, Tony Tolbert football, and Brandon Wolfram men's basketball were inducted. Between 2016 and 2017, Amusa participated in 2 seasons of competition for the minors, winning the national championship in the 100-meter hurdles at a time of 12.57 seconds. She was named an All-American 3 times and placed second in the NCAA competition in 2016. The school record for the 60-meter indoor hurdles, 7.98 seconds, and the 100-meter outdoor hurdles, 12.57 seconds, is held by Amusa, who was also a 5-time Conference USA champion, with a time of 12.1 seconds set during the semi-final of the 2022 World Championships in Oregon. Amusa currently holds the world record in the 100-meter hurdles. That same evening, she became the first ever Nigerian athlete to win a world championship. UEFA Champions League returned with a bang last night, with Europe's elite teams all competing for the ultimate prize. Match Day 5 didn't fail to entertain as the goals were plenty for the teams on Tuesday night. Arsenal went to Portugal to face Sporting CP, who have been remarkable this season, both in Europe and domestic competitions. The Gunners were firing on all cylinders and put 5 past Sporting. Atletico Madrid on the 9th put 6 Sparta Prague on their home turf in Czech Republic. Barcelona were comfortable winners against French side Brest at the Camp Nou, winning 3-0. Bayern Munich edged PSG by the lone goal at the Allianz Arena. Ademola Lookman's Atalanta were dominant against Young Boys, recording a 6-1 win, a victory away from home and continuing in their fine form since the start of the season. At the San Siro, Inter beat Leipzig 1-0, and Bayern Leverkusen were rampant against strugglers Salzburg, winning by 5 unreplied goals. The surprise of the night came in the match between City and Feyenoord. City, who have failed to register a win in their 5 last encounters in all competitions, had a 3-goal advantage and were pegged back to 3-3 by Feyenoord at full-time at the Etihad, making it 6 games without a win. Match day 5 will continue today with the headline fixture being Liverpool versus Real Madrid, the 2 Champions League giants fighting it out at Anfield. Other fixtures will include Aston Villa versus Juventus, Monaco versus Benfica, PSV versus Shakhtar, Celtic versus Club Brugge, Dinamo Zagreb versus Dortmund. Ayemi Miene for NDTV Sports.
And now from the foreign scene. A ceasefire agreement has been reached between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon on Wednesday, following more than a year of intense fighting that has claimed thousands of lives. Some displaced residents in the southern region have started returning to their homes against warning from both sides. The truce, which came into effect earlier in the day, is set to bring an end to a conflict that has forced thousands of Israelis and over 100 of thousands in Lebanon to flee their homes. According to reports, traffic on the road to Sidon, the main city in southern Lebanon, has been heavily congested as hundreds of displaced residents return to their homes in the wake of the truce. The Israeli military issued a warning advising residents of southern Lebanon to avoid approaching military jurisdictions and villages that its forces had designated for evacuation. Awaiting withdrawal, Lebanon's army said that they are taking the necessary measures to deploy forces in the south. That foreign report wraps up our news bulletin on Niger Delta Television News. But before we go, a look at the top stories. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday night congratulated the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on the successful revitalization of the Port Harcourt refinery. We also brought you a report that the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, has vowed to shut down all public polytechnics nationwide following the inability of the federal government to meet its demand. And finally, world record holder in the women's 100 meters hurdles, Toby Amusan, has been inducted into the University of Texas Hall of Fame 7 years after graduation from the institution. That's it on the news. I am Joyce Batowe. Thanks for watching.